cannabis, I think there's a lot to be said about the quality of the weed that you were smoking. A lot of people, the Rastas and Traumatic, I know a lot of you know a rapper called Mr. Traumatic. He's like, for example, he's got one bar, he's like, I don't need internet or no phone trends, I just need weed. I'll plant some seeds until they grow stems. Nothing lasts forever, but consciousness has no end. And it's these bars going, oh, I just need weed. Or all these people bigging up weed so much. I feel like there's a lack of a warning of, right, obviously it depends if you give a fuck about your health, of course. This is just one thing you gotta, when I was younger I didn't care about my health. It was like, I remember I literally avoided water. It was like, this is so retarded. I had just had some like neurosis where I just barely drank water when I was in like primary school and shit. Right, I'm just saying, I can't believe I've taken so long, and I still haven't really researched it. I just saw a video yesterday, but it's like, I've been smoking weed since I was like 15. I'm 19 now. That's a stupid long time. Fuck's sake, 4 years? Ooh. Like, right, look, so what the main point that I'm making here is skunk weed. Weed that's been sprayed, genetically modified weed, or GMO weed. Shake. Like shit loose weed. Like I heard on a podcast yesterday, which is mainly why I'm saying this somewhat, but it's on my mind, it's been on my mind for ages. I've tried to cut out, I've said so many times, I don't want to smoke no bottom shelf shit anymore. I'll show you what bottom shelf shit is.
I can't really see it actually because of the fucking filter I put on, but it looks like shit.
So I'm not against weed at all. I love weed, to be honest, but there's a massive difference. Like some of the shake me and my friends are getting, like a while back, it was like, you literally look at it and it's like on the verge of not being shake anymore. Like, how old does it have to get and how fucked does it have to get for it in order to just barely be weed? Because there's levels to this stuff, man. Like, there was a podcast it was like how to use cannabis as like a spiritual tool. I can't remember who it is, but it's a really good podcast, and the guy who sets it up, he's got so much spiritual sort of, I thought that wasn't really a spiritual psychedelic podcast. I thought I'd take that role, but there is one. I'll link the interview below. I forget what he's called, but he says that basically, like, he used to smoke it when he was younger and that, I think, and then like as he grew up, like, he started trying different strains and different dispensaries and realized there's levels to this game. It's not just smoke whatever. It's like there's such a diversity of cannabis that one strain is nothing like the other strain, and it's like basically its own fucking dimension. Like, imagine dogs. Think about how many fucking different type of dogs there are, yeah? It's the same with weed. They're not the same. They're all dogs, but not really. So the main concern is that it may be, I heard that it kills brain cells. People have been saying this for a while. I didn't look into the information, like, universally for the whole cannabis. I think cannabis can and is a powerful tool of healing. But it's just with these shitter strains and that, like, I've heard that it can potentially fuck your brain, like it literally kills your brain cells. This stuff that we got here, I feel like a layer of mucus all behind my nose and shit build up. Often you spark it and it just, you just get like a weird, like, artificial scent, almost like in the same sort of thing as deodorant. Sometimes you can just smell the bud and you can tell when it's sprayed, man. And it's quite upsetting how much is sprayed. Like, I honestly, if you just grew up on the street getting 10 bags here and there, 3-5 here and there, I can guarantee, like, probably half of what you've been smoking is shit, mate. So what I would like to see from people like Mr. Traumatic and all these men who promote it is just like a little bit more of, like, I know, like, Dave has a lyric. He goes, I tell them youths that skunk weed is gonna poison you. All you want to do is go and score a point or two. And it's like, get off just stop smoking that shit, man. If you're gonna pursue weed, pursue it properly with research. Don't just pick it up when you're a kid and keep smoking it because Traumatic says it's good. It's not good for your health, a lot of this stuff. They spray it, they GMO, and they mix it with all, I don't know. But the whole way, because we're in this grid that we are, Babylon, and it's all built on greed and money. You've got to understand that there's so many, it's like a rat race of debt. So the reason why you get fucked over with when you try to pick up some grade or something and it's shit, it's because the whole game is built on money, and you almost can't blame people for ripping you off or cutting corners. When you look at a supermarket, Cooperative Foods is a very good one, the local retail for many places. 99% of that entire place is got toxins within it, and we're eating the toxins, and then, but it's all built on profit. So the reason they fill it with toxins, they fill it with sugar. Sugar is a drug that gets you hooked onto it. You actually need sugar. If you cut out all sugar, you would get crazy withdrawals. Like, I mean, maybe, like, you don't even have to cut out the sugar from fruit. Cut out refined sugar and you will and it will reveal the drug addict you are. So they do this so you keep coming back, and then they also deceive you on the packaging with various like healthy foods, like the Kind bars and the Eat Natural brand and all these like. Just because it says vegan and shit doesn't mean it's good, but you let yourself get deceived because you want to eat the junk food often. But it's all built on deception to get more money. And then you get sick from the food, and then where do you go? The pharmaceutical industry. Now, I'm not saying YouTube, that this is some fat off conspiracy, but this is literally a fact. You pay for poison. It is poison. You can look it up. The vast majority of what's in supermarkets, the fruit is sprayed with pesticides, the water's full of plastic. It's crazy, and this is true. So, and then you get ill from that, and then you seek the cure from the medical industry, and it's all taxed and everything. And then what do you have here? You have a grid and confined environment, and there's some elites on some fucking island that no one even fucking knows about, and they live in some. And they're just getting, the reason why they don't care about what they put on the TV, why they don't even care about fooling us, is because as long as they get their money, and they're gonna keep getting their money before they're dead, they don't give a fuck. So they can say what they want, because they are in control of us right now. So that was a bit of a run, but yeah, it's just everything's built on money, and that's where you get fucked over. Can you tell that I'm actually back now? So I don't know if you've been following my channel. For 2 weeks I said that I have been in like a limbo state of like no energy, oversleeping, just feeling dead, man. I've been smoking with that fucking shit weed the whole time. I'm pretty confident that, especially that podcast last night, which I'll link as well, the one that I originally was watching. I found like this brand new channel who's all about spirituality, and he's like really big and his production is cool. I think he's called 19 Keys, and he's got like a channel, I can't remember his name, but I'll leave the podcast I stumbled upon last night. And yeah, it's just, look, us as the spiritual community and the self-help community, we care about our health. Weed is probably, weed is a powerful tool, but it's just like, are you even using it properly? Or are you waking up, scrolling through Instagram, smoking some shake that you got a stupid amount for £10, sat there on your phone with a hunchback, smoking this shit that's been sprayed with fucking deodorant, it might as well. And then what? And then you just go be like what the main thing is, yeah, you got to understand. You got to get very clear on your values. So what's important to you? Like, I care about health, and I care about health, family, community, prosperity, preserving the planet for the children. I care about truth, the psychedelic renaissance, the archaic revival, the new renaissance men. I care about empowerment of the individuals and the community. I care about understanding our true nature. The list goes on, I could go on forever, right? So that's that. But I also care about producing results. What I'm doing here, YouTube video, is somewhat of a result. Keep pumping shit out, basically daily. So what I'm saying is, if your value is to become somebody in the eyes of society, you're not going to do that by smoking weed alone. So if weed is aiding you towards building and producing art or whatever work you would like to do, then great. Or if it works good within your routine of doing it, but it's like, basically when there's 2 videos on my channel of the same nature. One's called Human Pleasure Vehicle, and one's right next to it called Beware the Trap of Comfort and Complacency. This one's the worst, man, I hate it. So basically I took like 5-something grams of mushrooms. This was a while ago. I just stumbled upon it in my camera roll the other day, and I was like, how did I forget about this? I have a few, because basically I had to stop tripping publicly, because of my parents were like enforcing that I can't do psychedelics. They used to be fine with it, and then I started like getting a bit untangled because I kind of lost my mind. But that's kind of enlightenment. Like, I mean, you lost your mind relatively, but absolutely, I mean, it's all a bit of a madness. So they enforced that I couldn't do them, and so I was just taking them behind the scenes, basically. Sorry. I shouldn't have done it to some extent. It's ebbs and flows. I mean, well, the thing about that is that when I look back at 3 months ago and I was poor then, why am I still fucking poor now? It just, like, you're obviously not doing something right. Just stop fucking buying the weed, stop buying the fucking mushrooms, get on skills, bruv. Yeah, so what I was saying is, beware the trap of comfort and complacency, is that basically, like, if you value to create something in the world, like, right, we all seek pleasure, right? Subjective pleasure, like sugar, cannabis, sleep, sex, right? If you got all of that in every dimension you ever wanted, that would be heaven and earth, right? Well, I don't know, because what about everything else? Like, you get all the pleasure, right? Great. It feels good, apparently. Even though when all you have is pleasure, there's nowhere else to turn but pain. And it probably gets old very quickly, but it's just like, if you had all of that in the world, what happened to me is that's what I was pursuing. I was pursuing like 3-5 of good cannabis every single day. I was taking mushrooms like every week. Obviously, it wasn't like absolute, but it was just like basically I realized that I was losing all of the value of my whole life, like everything I want to create, because I sought subjective pleasure. So I was having a good experience, yeah. But what about all the stuff I want to create out there? What about the music? What about the channel, the YouTube, the Rumble, the everything? All my links in the description, and my future herbal remedies and everything that I want to get on. I've lost all that with subjective pleasure. So there you go. There's 2 points there. Stop smoking shit weed. Commit to top shelf and just cut it out. I made a video about how quitting weed can be so good for your development. It can be. You can return to it, but it's just try cut it out for a few months. Trust me. If you've never done that, just stop watching the channel, man. You already know what you need to do. And if you're sat there in your chair actively watching me now, I mean, there's nothing to do ultimately. But why are you doing that? Listen to it while you're doing the dishes. Stop. Actually, you are, what's your age? That's how much you have died, not how old you are. I am 19 years dead. The clock is ticking. Stop wasting your fucking time. I don't know. It's not that deep. Not that serious. But anyway, stop smoking the fucking skunk weed, because that shit's poison in your brain. We've never seen good weed. A lot of us. Not really. If you just get it off what's his name down the road, he doesn't give a fuck. You gotta get in there, in the game, find out where it comes from, and know your shit. So there you go. Stop smoking weed like fucking idiots. That is my message. Thank you very much. More videos coming soon, brother.